everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm PJ. I hope you're well. It's been roughly a month now since I've swapped from my Hobonichi A5 into a Hobonichi A6 plus a traveler's notebook passport size, and I thought having used both of these now for a while, it might be a good time to do a flip through and share some of my thoughts that I've been collecting on using these two notebooks. So let's just go straight in. Some background on my journaling journey. I have been a traveler's notebook user for a long time, and the past few years I've really settled into the passport size. A lot of my archive, if not most of my archive, is in this size, and I normally use the horizontal weeklies, so it basically splits the year into halves, and then one of the booklets is going from January to June, so very similar to the Avec format, and then the second half of the year from July to December is a separate little booklet. And I also, about a year ago, decided to join the online journaling community by joining Instagram. It's something that I actively avoided previously because I wanted to avoid overconsumption of everything stationery related, because I know I love things, and if they're beautiful, if they're well made, or if they're cute, or if they're just interesting, I would want to buy them. So avoiding social media and like online communities has worked really well for me. But I don't know why last year around this time I thought, you know what, it looks so fun being part of a community, and I'm just going to join and see what happens. And what happened is that I got swept into the vortex that is Hobonichi, especially Hobonichi, kind of the style of using a Hobonichi by decorating the pages, which is something that I haven't done before. I didn't used to decorate my pages for decorating sake, which is what I feel this is. By pre-decorating your pages and like washi tapes and I don't know, character stickers and pet tapes and things like that. It just wasn't something that I was not necessarily into, because I just didn't do it. But because I use my notebooks really functionally, I just didn't think I needed to spend the time doing things just to beautify the page. But after joining, like I said, I got really influenced because the pages do look very pretty, and especially if throughout your notebook, throughout your journal, you have like different styles and different designers or brands, that is quite fun. So I started using the Hobonichi A5 cousin only end of last year. So basically the second half, sorry, not the end of last year, the second half of last year. So I had a July to December book, and I really liked it. And I think it's because it was such a change from what I'm used to and how I used to use my notebooks, that the aspect of journaling, as in, to me, it was basically writing Dear Diary entries, was very novel to me. It's not something that I've ever done. I just, never really thought the need of wanting to write down my thoughts necessarily of the day. So I kind of really got into it, and very naturally kind of gravitated to writing Dear Diary entries in my dailies. And and then started decorating my pages. So that was all very enjoyable for the first 6 months of using this format. And come January this year, I was pretty much, I think, burned out by the second week of January of trying to I guess keep up with the tasks of having to decorate the pages. And because I started off decorating every single daily page and every weekly and every monthly spread, that I felt to complete my journal, I have to complete all the pages. And because I started off writing loads, I felt I couldn't, I basically was stuck in a kind of like in a self-imposed rule of wanting to fill the pages. So that kind of became a bit of a chore. And it also was a chore because what happens is that in my dailies, I would write Dear Diary entries. So they would be literally novel-like, and it's not novel-like in terms of length and usage of words, but not necessarily how well everything is written. So in my my daily pages, I would do Dear Diary, and I would just basically write and write and write and just about anything. And then if you look at my monthly pages, the weekly pages, it's basically an ever so slightly shortened version of my dailies and a mix of functional planning with me. Then after, when the week has passed, I'll come back and fill in memory keeping bits. So I really actually enjoyed the weekly vertical format because I could plan as well as memory keep afterwards. And then you have the monthlies, which I also very much enjoyed by just using the Coffee Monsters Co. stickers. And again, it was a repetition of my memory keeping from my dailies and my weeklies. And it's basically an ultra condensed version. It would be just one thing or two things of the day that I would write into here and then use a sticker. It was mainly so I can use a sticker. So I go to the gym, so I can use a sticker for the gym. Yeah, so basically the repetition was just too much, and I felt it is basically really counterproductive if you are planning your day but utilizing way too much time to plan your day. So it's not really efficient at all. And I also don't need to repeat myself that much in terms of what has happened during the day. So really, if I wanted to refer to what I was doing on a day, a monthly spread would be completely sufficient. The Dear Diary ones especially, because it's written like a story, you would have to read the whole page to then discern what was important, what wasn't. And I don't do that. I also find it really cringy to read back on my thoughts sometimes. And for this video, I've kind of gone back to, censor some things, but I actually have never flicked through my my last year's Avec from July to December, because there was just no need. If I wanted to know what happened, I would just go into my monthly grid, and then that's fine, and that jogs my memory way faster than these daily pages. So the daily pages really where, I guess, if you treat journaling as a hobby, which I do, it is nice because you're spending time to wind down, and that is good. But for me, it became too much of a task rather than just, let's just like write down and see, how I feel and stuff like that. So it became too much of a job. And it also just took me a long time because I want the pages to look nice and balanced. So I play around with writing kind of vertically within this kind of invisible margin to kind of give I think if you write this way, it makes your writing and your content look more like a sticker. So it's more like a pictorial thing, and I quite enjoy using those to kind of balance out the page. So there's a lot of thinking involved and trying to get all the words right, so then I can lay it out right. And that's kind of really hard while you're writing and thinking at the same time. So anyway, I basically just I think I got a little bit burned out and overwhelmed. And also another thing, I mainly decorate had been decorating my pages by putting washi tape and stickers either at the bottom here to cover the quotes, or sometimes along the middle and then otherwise kind of down either side. That's basically all I did, or sometimes at the top. So it basically is kind of in like a framey format, and I haven't really kind of moved away from that, and I just feel visually that's the most pleasing to me. So then I basically I run out of ideas of how I could decorate for it to look a little bit more interesting. So I decided that I need to step back and, you know, use my journal more as a functional thing, so it adds to my daily life rather than makes it a task. So then I thought an easy way would be just to scale back in size and like the format, because then it means you have less space that you need to fill with writing or stickers. And also, like I said, this Hobonichi Vortex is really new to me, and my previous notebooks and my traveler passport is very different. It's quite functional, and I would, let me show you a little example. I would use washi tapes, for example, literally for holding down things. So it's not it's not a decoration. It's a little bit of decoration because you want to make it look pretty, but it really is a functional thing of sticking something down. And so the washi tapes that I did use were also pretty simple ones, so nothing with kind of characters and things on them. So I felt I basically also panicked. I was like, oh no, I don't want to lose my old self of how I use my notebooks, because I love that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get rid of the A5 format and I'm going to scale down a little bit, but technically not really, because I have two planners now, so the volume added up is probably the same. Like if you were thinking of like square centimeterage of paper to fill, but I will show you how they differ. And so at the moment I'm quite enjoying it. So let's just quickly jump into my A6, and I've kind of marked some pages to show you direct comparisons of the pages in an A5 size and an A6 size. I partly wanted to do this because I wanted to see how it differs, and also see how I naturally start using the pages, but also I wanted to see how the stickers will I guess change the mood of a page because of their sizing relation to the paper size and how big they are. So so this is January 6th and 7th, and so I can already see that what I've done in my A5 is I would use these hourly sections mainly for, again, memory keeping and dear diary entries, and wouldn't use them for planning. But in my smaller one here, I actually use them for planning, not super regimentally, so it's roughly where things happen, but I definitely use them. And I think that's because your A6 Hobonichi Avec doesn't have a vertical weekly spread. You can buy a supplement booklet which actually looks like this, open up. If you've seen one of my previous videos, I basically did some layout planning before I actually started using the actual notebooks when I received them, just to get an idea of how I want to use things. And I can tell you already that I have not stuck to it whatsoever. So yeah, this is the supplement weekly notebook that you can get to go along with your A6 Avec, to give you the option of a vertical weekly spread for planning. I thought I would use this, and I actually have not touched the booklet at all, because my functional planning now falls into my passport size traveler notebook. However, I felt I wanted to put some of my tasks in here anyway, just so I have them in this booklet as well, which kind of gets me to the point of I really just want one notebook. Previously, I've been fine with just the traveler notebook passport size. So I feel having 2 notebooks, again, I am repeating myself and it's annoying. The repetition of information is annoying. But again, for these pages in the A6, I also did some like pre-planning and thought of where I want to put things. And originally I thought at the top here in the margin, I would put my food. And then on this section here, it's going to be my to-do and potentially some comments on like, I guess, my food things and stuff like that. And then on here, the bottom here is going to be my exercise. And then down here, that's the space that I was leaving myself for an emotional brain dump, or basically a Dear Diary entry. And I thought that's actually a good kind of size ratio to information and how much I want to write for, or how much I would need to write for each. But in reality, I actually did not stick to the plan at all. I might still try and do it just so I can see whether I like it, but naturally I kind of gravitated towards tasks and potentially what I'm eating in here in the margin, and then comments on the task and just some thoughts of the day. I also did the other page, again another comparison for you guys and for me. This page has been written with a Sailor Manu ink with a glass dip pen from Ferris Wheel Press, which was their Kickstarter campaign one. And it has quite a broad nib, and I thought it looked really nice on within this A5 page. And when I used the same in the A6, I initially actually really didn't like it. I prefer it on the bigger sized pages, but now if I look at it in direct comparison, I actually don't dislike it as much as I did. I think it also just shows how differently I'm using the pages. Here, my sentences are short, the comments are short. I use a lot of arrows to kind of direct me to where things might have happened and things like that. So I think these pages, so what I think my A6 pages are, I think they're a bit more dynamic and a little bit more how I like things, which is less full and more filled with negative space, if that makes sense. I also kind of like how with these washi tapes, I'm a really annoying person who likes washi tape repeats to be as long as possible, and especially with the A5 size, I like a repeat that I can use for both pages, so there's no repetition. I understand, I've spoken to a artist friend of mine, a creator friend of mine, and I understand why there are different repeats. It has something to do with costs, and also of course how long it takes for the creators and artists to design things to put in it. So I completely appreciate reasons of every single designer to pick and choose, of course, their prerogative, how the repeats, how short or long the repeats they want it to be. But I basically prefer longer repeats, so I can have no repeated designs within a double page spread, which basically means if I go down in size, there's less opportunities for a repeat, because you have a shorter distance to cover. So that I kind of quite like. It's a nice side effect of swapping into a smaller size. But again, I'm not trying to I hope this doesn't come across rude to designers of me saying, I want your repeats to be longer. It really isn't. It's just, it would be nice, but I understand why you make your decisions, so that's totally fine. So yeah, again, I've got another page here that is also kind of like a direct comparison, and again, I think in this particular A5 page, it looks already a little bit more fun, like a little bit jumpy, and I like the dynamicness of this. But again, I feel in the A6 it looks so much better and so much more engaging, and I don't feel like I'm reading a novel of you know, a novel with which content I don't really want to know because it's my own feelings and whatnot. So yeah, I basically quite enjoy this smaller format. So then I wanted to show you, I'll do a quick flick through in a little bit of my A6. I also then just wanted to show you the differences. The differences between my A5 monthly and my A6 monthly. So what has happened is I didn't read the description properly and clearly didn't watch enough videos, or my brain didn't fully register what calendar grids and is set up in the A6 Avec. So I actually didn't think I would get a grid, a monthly grid in the Avec, and so therefore I bought that weekly supplement, and I bought a passport size traveler's notebook monthly grid, because I thought I would need to do a monthly grid in there. So but I didn't, because then I realized I have the monthly grid in my A6. And what has happened is my monthly passport now has become a like a pre-planning of what I might put in my Hobonichi A6. And so I think you can see, or at least that was my progression really. So in my A5 Hobonichi, I would use only the Coffee Monster Co. stickers, because I got a little bit addicted to Helen's stuff, and I have loads of sticker sheets, and it's really terrible in terms of consumption, and it totally proves that I was right of not joining the journaling community earlier on, because I would be like bankrupt by now. So yeah, overconsumption of sticker sheets is huge for me, especially because I actually never thought I would like cute character stickers. It just was nothing that was even remotely on my radar. So this is a surprise to me, but I'm not you know, I'm not mad about it. Like, it's fine. I enjoy them. They really cheer me up. But so the progression is that this was TCEMC stickers. I would write fairly long kind of sentences of what might have been interesting that day. And then I thought this year I want to change it up. I want to use random stickers. I might still do a whole month just exclusively, like for example Salem Creative or TCMC stickers, but I also want to allow myself the option of using other stickers, of which I also have a lot. Oops. So this was my progression. Here you can see me using different stickers, but also still writing quite a lot, and it really didn't come out well. Some of the empty spaces is because I peeled off the stickers. So this one, the little Line Friends bunny, and this little washi tape with me writing down tired, was actually here. So I peeled it off there, and like some other stickers have been, like this washi sticker was here, I think, and I peeled it off as well. So it really was actually really messy, and I didn't like it. It felt like I had absolutely no idea of how to structure a page prettily. So when I then discovered that my A6 has a monthly grid, I have decided to continue the different stickers from different brands and artists, but I will basically only allow myself to write tiny little sections, so just literally words. So like, for example, here, just tired, and then everything else is then going to be empty if nothing particularly spectacular happened on that day. And I think these pages look really, really good. Like, I'm really happy with them, and I love the fact that it's full of white space, because I am actually a person who likes negative space. I think it really balances out pages, and yeah, so I think this is ideal because I don't need to repeat myself in words of what happened on the day, and all I do throughout the month is I kind of pick and choose things, stickers that I then either put in or don't put in at the end of the month. So it's not a thing that I do throughout the month, I do it right at the end. So this is my February spread as well. So this is a comparison. I didn't actually do much in this grid. Same here as well. So there's not much in the A5 and in my passport. So again, here I've done a little bit of writing, again, because I kind of like this one and I wanted to put it in here. So I really like it, and this has stickers in it as well as things that have actually happened or like memories that I've collected. So I bought a scented candle and I put the sticker in here and I love it. The candle and the sticker. So here's me kind of pre-planning my March spread. So I've covered the dates because if that's what I've done here as well in the March spread. Had to adjust some stuff slightly, but so yeah, I'm basically kind of writing down some stuff that I might want to put in, and then eventually I will start finding stickers to reflect the memories that I may want to put down. So yeah, so this will be March, and I've kind of started collecting 2 stickers. I have a little pouch where I put the stickers in. So yeah, so let me just do a quick flip through of the A6, and then that would be the A6. So maybe I should start on the outside. I'm sorry if my camera keeps changing the white balance, because these 2 covers confuse it a little bit. So this is a Hobonichi fabric cover. It is one from their like base range collections, I guess. I saw my friend Roxana from Apple Tree Valley using the exact same one, and totally influenced me in getting it, because online, you know, on the Hobonichi website, this cover looks tragic. It's one that I completely scroll past on, and I actually think it's a shame, because now I absolutely love it. I have the urge of ordering a second one as like a backup, just in case I make this dirty or break it. So I think this one is called Cinnamon Apple. It is a very bright, I would say a reddish orange, or you can say it's like an orangey red, depending on whether you think this is more red or orange, but I think it's more orange. And then I customize it with a little like a spine charm, I'm gonna call it, with colorful letter beads, and I love it. I think it goes really well with this particular cover, because it kind of plays into the playfulness and joyfulness of this color. And then opening it up is actually another point why this cover is so good. So the outside is really in your face, it's really bright, but the inside is super calm. This is like a really soft pinkish beige, I think, and it is so nice. It looks super clean, super tidy, and super fresh, which is really good if you're actually journaling and you don't want your eyeballs to burn, because you know you have a rim of this red all the way around when you open your notebook. So yeah, another thing why I love it, and I think it's maybe a thing to consider if you're buying yourself a notebook cover, whether you like the inside color as well, because I think this year some of the inside cover colors were a bit too bright for me to want to consider the cover itself, even though the outside looked great. Oh, so like my pens that I'm using, this is a Jinhao fountain pen. It's basically a Sailor dupe. I've have it inked with that blue ink that you saw earlier in this spread. It's a Sailor Manyo ink called Haha. And then this is the Uniball P in, I think this is Papaya, and a Muji purple highlighter pen. I also really like how these 3 pens work and look with this cover, so I've been basically storing them in here. Then I have this really cute sticker. I actually cannot remember the artist. I will look it up, and if you're interested, let me know. Put down a comment, and then I will look it up and link this person. Oh no, actually it says, sorry, it's Blue Bean. I think the artist is called Blue Bean, and I absolutely love the sticker, and I can't bring myself to stick it down anywhere. And because it kind of fits really well with this kind of rounded shape here and the arch there, I'm leaving it in this pocket, and I enjoy it like this. Then I made myself a little washi sample thingy, plastic thing that I haven't actually used yet. And then my two most used Plan and Stow dot stickers. And then I have another little plastic thing that I made to hold some tabs. And this is my Plan and Stow key card. I covered Plan and Stow, like the branding and the keyword. Sorry, but I quite like this because there's just a lot of empty space and just nice kind of colors. So it's really graphic. Not that you see much because it's always in here. I put this one in here because I have customized this A6 notebook cover from MD paper, Midori MD paper, to fit my Hobonichi A6 cousin, because when you just put the notebook in this cover, the cover is quite a lot too big. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that if you were to want to buy one of these, it's too big, you would need to customize it for it to fit. And my one, I've kind of cut it down and it fits like a glove, and I absolutely love it. And then at the back here, I just have a Hobonichi plastic folder that holds my dot stickers. And I prefer this side, like the back side of this cover. So that's why it's slotted in this way around. And I also wanted to mention that I rounded the corners. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's this side of the corners, the bit on the side where there's no opening. When you buy these sleeves, they're actually pointy, and I found it very hard to slot things in with that pointiness over there. And also it's just a bit sharp sometimes. So I basically rounded the corners, and I quite like it with the corners rounded because you can't poke yourself, and sliding things in is easier. At the back, I have 2 sheets of like sticker paper from, I can't remember where I got these from, just so when I collect stuff, like little sticky things, I can just stick it straight in here, keep it, and come back and use it. This is another folder from Hobonichi. Again, I've cut the corners. And then here's my cover. I don't know if you've watched one of my previous videos. I will put the link, if I can figure out how to do it in this picture, I'll put it over somewhere here. If I can't, it'll be in the comments, in the description. If you wanted to watch how I covered this Hobonichi notebook cover, because the cover color was this limey color. As a color, I don't dislike it, but it doesn't really work well for your eyes when you go from a color like this to like a color like this. So I covered this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I am not sure whether I will decorate this cover. I probably will leave it like this. I will see. It depends. I think if something really cool pops up, I probably will stick it down, but I'm not tying myself down with saying I need to decorate this cover still. This is a Kubo and Lucy magnet. Same for this one. And what I've done is I have changed their magnet and bought a smaller, much more slimline one, because the magnet is quite thick. You can see it here, it's really chunky, and it doesn't really work in this notebook. Then I just have some one TCMC sticker in here, and a Jess was here, a strawberry milk carton sticker, which I love. I kind of just have them in here, not stuck down, because I can't decide whether I want to stick them down or not. And then I kind of started decorating the front pages of my A6 Avec. In fact, actually, I might show you the inside of my passport notebook because they kind of link together a little bit. So I haven't decorated the cover itself. Usually I would decorate my passport covers right at the end when I have collected enough ephemera of like places that I've been or things I've eaten, like stuff, before I decorate the cover. But the inside, I guess, front page, I have tried to kind of link these two together by utilizing the skeleton of this label and stuck it onto this marbled paper, which what I've done is I have removed the first page of my traveler's notebook, which is this one, and I kept this page, but I've chopped out the calendar here, and then I stuck them down horizontally over the 2025, so over the following page, which is the 2025 page. So I've cut these out and stuck them horizontally, covering the 2025 one, because I rarely need it. If I plan ahead, I probably write a note rather than actually labeling on that calendar. So this is kind of how my traveler's notebook looks like, and that's pretty much what I've been doing in this Hobonichi as well. So I've gotten rid of the title page, which says, I don't know, Hobonichi Techo at the bottom. I've inserted a kakimori letter paper, which I think is the same paper as in the Hobonichi, so the Tomori River one. And I've done exactly the same thing that I've done in my passport by cutting out the first page that had the 2024 calendar and stuck it on top of the 2025 calendar. So these washi tapes are just covering, I think here it said 2025 and here it said the following year or something like that. So it's all covered and I really like it. I'm going to treat this more as a pictorial thing rather than a functional thing, because I will do the functional thing in here, I think. So this is kind of the customization that I've done in my Hobonichi. I've used a roll tape, no, what is it called? Like a roller thing, glue tape thing. So I don't bulk up the page, and also that it doesn't become bubbly. These two things here I may stick onto this title page, but I haven't decided yet. So now they're just living here. So I think I might kind of maybe jump into my passport as well while we're at it. So these are the vertical monthly spreads in both of my current planners. So the Traveler Notebook Passport and the Hobonichi A6 Avecs. And in here I'm basically tracking, so in my passport, because it's a bit smaller, I'm just tracking which day I've gone to the gym or went for a run or whatever. And then I track my mood down this little section here. And then in my A6, pretty much the same, but I also track a couple of other habits. So my vitamins, my knitting, and my reading. I felt I don't need to track much more in here because I quite like how this looks. It looks nice and clean and easy to read. I mainly actually wanted to do this because I love these Sue Atelier smiley faces. They're just so cute and expressive, and I think they're fairly grown up looking, so not too cute. And so that's what I'm doing in the vertical monthlies. And then let's see, and then what I want to do on this double page here is what I have seen the Dandelion Diaries doing. She does like a tracker for, I think, each month that encompasses loads of other kind of habits and happenings in her life. And I think I want to do something similar on these two pages, but for the 6 months that happen in this notebook. I just haven't quite decided what I want to track yet. Once I decide, I think I will lay it out and show you in my next flip through. And then we are at my daily pages, and I think compared to my A5, it definitely is much better for my brain, because I don't feel like I have to decorate each page. Like this one, I haven't really decorated at all, and I love it. And then some pages, you know, I have tried different things, but having my today, like to-do list in here, but I actually haven't really used it for that. This page here, I have basically transplanted this decoration that I had in my A5 straight, like peeled it off from there and put it in here. Oh, these dots. So I first heard of, well, I first seen someone use these dots via Bronte from Bronte Plans. She herself has referred back to Megan Rhiannon. So I'm kind of using the same thing as well. I have like these dots that annotate different things. So these lime green dots are basically reviews and ratings that I give for, like, I don't know, restaurants or movies or books. And then I have a fluorescent pink one that I use to mark bits where I have commented on things related to layout and how I use, you know, how I use my pages, basically. So some comments on that. I think here I'm basically talking that I do not like how I originally planned, you know, the stars to go right on the edges of this kind of margin for me to then write whether it's a run or a gym. But then I tried it with the dots, the stars closer to the word, and I actually dislike it more. So I think I'll probably stick to it. And again, I've commented here and referred back to this one. There was something, oh yeah, so I've marked this one out because I basically have taken the decoration that I've done in my A5 over here that kind of cuts across the top of the page, transplanted into here, and I just wanted to kind of show you that I've done this. Sorry, let me just cover this lime green so the computer doesn't do funny white balance. This page here, I just wanted to comment. So Miso Paper, Barbara from Miso Paper usually includes quite a lot of freebies when you place an order. And previously I've been saving all the freebies because they're freebies, so you only really get like one thing from like a design, and so they're very precious. But this year, and I think I'm probably repeating a sentiment that a lot of people have, or I've heard quite a few people mention it in this community, that they are trying to actively use up or use the stuff that they have, and that's what I'm doing as well. So I'm actively using my things, and I'm not going to be too precious about them, because, you know, once you've used them, it's not that they're disappearing. They're actually within something that becomes a product and an object, and is what the washi tapes, pet tapes, stickers are designed for. So they can only enrich your things, so you will not lose stuff. And therefore saving it is actually counterproductive, because you actually want to like see them in your notebooks. And while I'm really aware of that, I also am a bit of a magpie and like a hamster, and I just want to hoard things. But this year I'm definitely not doing it. And so, for example, in this one here, the balance is probably a little bit off now that I have written on the page. But these pet tapes are from Barbara, and they came with that particular order. And my plan now is that every time when I receive an order from Barbara, I'm going to use the freebies that were included in that order. So you know, it almost is a bit of like it's memory keeping, isn't it? It's like ephemera that you got for something, which is an order from Miso Paper. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think I'm quite, yeah, it's a bit off balance now with the writing here, but I'm still happy that I've used it, and that, you know, the stickers aren't just in a collection somewhere being kept safe. So yeah, I think I'm super happy with how my A6 is kind of going. I feel I'm much more able to read and figure out what has happened on the day rather than reading through pages and pages of Dear Diary entries. And they actually, like, I prefer reading through these because I know it's snappy, it's not too blah 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 fluffy, fluff filled. Whereas the Dear Diary entries definitely were, and I don't really want to read through those. So like this page, for example, is super empty, and I'm pretty happy with it. I was just super busy and I couldn't really be bothered. So that's fine. This is now March. I think I'm going to leave the March one so I can do a March flip through. So yeah, so this is basically how I'm using my A6. Let me now quickly go through my passport. Let me just double check the time. Oh God, okay, right, we're already 15 minutes in. Thank you if you're still here and you haven't, fallen asleep. So let me go through the knickknacks that I have on my Traveler's Notebook cover. So again, this is a Kubo and Lucy planner magnet sticker. I have discovered that there's another brand or artist who does diptyque logo inspired planner magnets. I think the other brand is slightly smaller, so potentially in terms of size would fit better onto my with this passport size notebook. But I actually prefer the layout and the writing of the Kubo and Lucy one. I think it looks better. The other one, instead of saying planner, it says plan, and has some other wording around the outside. But I'm quite happy with this particular one. Yeah. And then these charms on the elastic bands. This was a button, or this is a button from a old pair of dungarees that I had when I was a child, and Mum has kept this button for forever, and I'm glad she has because I love it. I think it works perfectly as a charm on here. And then this one here is a Traveler's Notebook branded mother of pearl, basically a shell button. It's really, really well made. You can't really see the beautiful mother of shell colors, but it's really, really cute. I love it. It's well made. It's really thick. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break any time. This charm I think I got when I was in Japan. These two charms I made a little while ago. So this is a stamp that has my initials. It actually works as a stamp. And this one here is a shrinky plastic paper thing that, where you write and then you heat it up and then it shrinks. Yeah, so I've made the charms. And then this little bow here, I got a big paper clip from a friend because she uses these paper clips to attach like a bow or something on it, and I really liked it, and she was so kind and gave me one that she was using right there and then. So I basically just tied on a piece of ribbon. I've kind of heated up the edges so it doesn't fray, and then in the actual knot, I don't know if it's visible, I've stitched the knot shut so it doesn't open up. Here's another stitch, so it can remain as much the original shape as I first tied it, which because I liked it, I wanted it to remain the same. Okay, so then to this cover. This is the olive cover that the Traveler Company released last year. In terms of texture, it is quite suede, so it's not like a kind of like a smooth leather as this blue one. This blue standard is the Pan Am version, and you can see that this one is way more shiny and smooth, and this one is quite velvety. I actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm the Journaling Potato on Instagram as well, if you wanted to follow. Shameless plug. So you might have seen me originally having used this cover, and this is my OG camel cover that I got when I went to visit Japan, so it's really quite sentimentally important. However, I last year when the stamp caravan came to London, I went to go to the London Graphic Centre, and I was just a bit overexcited, I think, and I stamped this. And I shouldn't have stamped this cover, I think. I think I should have left it like, you know, naked. And now that I've stamped it, I don't know, it has lost its charm a little bit for me, which is so sad because it's so sentimental. I should have just bought another leather cover, which I actually did. I had bought another camel cover and stamped it all over, and I prefer that one to this, and I should have not stamped it. It really annoys me that I've stamped it, and it's not that I dislike it, but I don't love it as much as I used to, and it's really sad that that's the case. So anyway, I swapped out from it because the stamp was kind of really distracting me and I didn't like it. But why I have it here is because I wanted to show you the inside of the covers. It's not something that I've heard many people talk about, but I'm very particular about this, and so I thought I should share it with you guys, basically my thoughts on that. Apologies for this fluff. So basically, obviously the manufacturing times of these three covers are very different. This one is before, so the blue Pan Am cover is before I got this cover, and this cover is way older than this olive cover. But for me, there's a distinct difference between the inside texture of the cover, which is basically left untreated, so they haven't really done much to it. And so if you can see, my camel cover here is really fibrous, so it has really long bits of leather. The Pan Am one is a little bit better, but it has like bits that are long. The back is really like almost smooth, right? And then the olive cover, in terms of its internal texture, I feel is a middle ground between this really fibrous one, hairy one, and this one that feels very smooth, or very like suede without like long bits. And if I had the option to pick, which you can't obviously because you can't see the covers, is I would prefer my insides all to be as smooth and fluffy free, like fluff free. But yeah, you can't pick, and the reason why I would prefer it smooth is because these little long fibers do come off, and it just feels a bit funny, like it's like, you know, I don't know, it's like the fuzzy like fluffiness should be on the outside and not on the inside of your notebook. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to mention that, and I wonder whether you guys have noticed it and whether you have a preference. Somebody mentioned that they think, well, that they would prefer the fibrous ones because to them it feels like the leather has been less processed. I don't think necessarily that that's the case of why they're different. I think it is where from the hide, like the big piece of leather, these covers have been cut, rather than, you know, processing. So I think within the same piece of leather from which this cover has been cut, there must have been sections that were more smooth and less fibrous. Yeah, so I would like to hear from you whether you have like a preferred kind of texture of the inside, or whether I'm just being really anal about it. Let me know. I don't mind. I can take comments like this. I think it's quite interesting just to see, like, you know, what we all like or dislike. So let's go through the setup. I've got a traveler's notebook, plastic insert in here, basically mainly because I want to be able to see my actual cover of the notebook, but I also wanted to layer something on top so it's not just like flat blue or whatever I end up decorating this cover with, if I decorate it. But I have gone through one of these plastic covers already. They do yellow and they do become a little bit brittle. It does take a year or two, or maybe a bit more, and I think it depends also on how much sunlight exposure they get. But my previous one has definitely yellowed, and I actually have thrown it away because it was just a bit gross. Just as a, for your information, future reference, should you want to buy one of these. Oh, I forgot to mention this little hand clip. This is from LCN's 10th anniversary paper box, her like mini journal paper box. And I believe she collaborated with a jewelry designer or jewelry maker for these clips. And I think you can tell it's so well made. I've seen so many of these kind of hand clips that look terrible. They just don't look like they're well made. This one, like you probably, I don't know whether you can tell just from my videos, but I'm so picky. So when I got it, the first thing I did, I was kind of running my hands around the edges to see how like smooth they are. Because actually, let me just quickly grab it. My Esterbrook fountain pen nib thingy clip, I actually had to, it's probably not very obvious actually, but I had to sand this inside edge because it was so sharp that it was making really deep grooves into my pages. So I really appreciated that whoever made this one, took a lot of care in making it smooth and really user-friendly. So if you can still get one of those boxes, go get them. I think personally for me, it was worth just for this clip. Okay, so let's go back to this. So this was the backing card of the planner magnet. I just kept it because it's pretty. I just chopped it out. Probably will stick it down somewhere. I've shown you this page already. And this page here as well, which is my calendar. In this one, it's going to be a bit more functional. So I'm using washi tape cut to size to kind of highlight potential holiday dates. And then here I've shown you as well, so tracking my exercise and mood, my little key, and then we can go straight in. So I don't usually do, I don't backfill these because I usually finish my journals. So I start the year when the year starts, and oops, let's remove this. So this transparent page I've inserted in here because I wanted to eventually put down my rules and regulations of how I want to use this notebook. I haven't done it yet because, because I forgot actually, because I have used this notebook long enough now that I could probably put down my rules and how I'm using it. Not necessary rules, it sounds a bit silly, but just like how I would like to use this and how I'm using it. And so at the moment, basically, let me get one that's less messy. So I'm using the left-hand side of the page, of each page, as like a to-do, and also fairly timed kind of happenings. And then on the other side, I write down what I have eaten and basically a comment on, how the to-do is going or whatever. It's just space for comments and food. And I also, what I do a lot, which is also why this page is how it is I, as much as I like the Traveler's Notebook, and I absolutely adore the leather covers, and I adore the kind of customization and DIY aspects of things, and I have coped fairly well with this cover not lying flat. I know it's really annoying for a lot of people, like this little tin thing. But I quite like it. The only thing that I don't like about the Traveler's Notebook is some of their graphics. I think it's a little bit too travel inspired, which, that's my problem because clearly this brand is all about travel and stamps. But because I kind of want to avoid seeing it too much, because if you're unfamiliar with travel notebooks, each page will have like a little really faded stamp, basically their branding at the back as a background of like the dates, and it kind of annoys me a bit. So what I do a lot is I basically take the bottom section off and add on my own different type of paper usually, and then write into that. Over here it's not super big. Oh, so this page is a bit better. So you can see I've been basically trying to decide whether I like this division, the two division lines, as a box where the bottom, where I connect the two vertical lines, or whether I like them drawn through. And the conclusion now is that I like them fully drawn through. It's nicer, I think. It's cleaner. And here as well, you can see I've removed an entire page just to avoid that stampy logo. And I've inserted a page of different type of paper, and showing you here how I basically use my washi tapes, how I used to use them, and how I use them in my traveler's notebook. Fully functional, just to hold things in place. And over here I use some stamps. I personally prefer using stamps in my traveler's notebook rather than in my Hobonichi, because I think the really thin, delicate paper just doesn't lend itself that much to stamps. So I prefer to use my stamps in here, and I think another reason why I wanted to be back in a traveler's notebook so I can use my stamps. This page here at the bottom, again, I have removed the bottom section, and then I've just inserted again a different type of paper. You can see the printed dots on here. And yeah, just kind of carry on writing. Here again, I gave the box another try and I don't like it. And then sometimes I would cover the the printed dates, just because this page is already so DIY that I thought it looked quite nice with three different colors as well: the blue, the yellow, and kind of this lilac. So that's basically what I do in my traveler's notebook. I insert pages, I cut pages away, and there's no decoration. Everything is super functional. Here again, another piece of paper, just so I can avoid looking at that stamp. You would be correct in asking yourself the question, or shouting at the screen and going, PJ, why don't you just buy a, for example, sterling ink, vertical diary or horizontal diary, and have that minimalist look right from the start? And I would say you're very right. And if I am a person who's not as annoyingly anal, I would probably have done it, but I cannot. I have this weird thing where I struggle to put so obviously Traveler's Notebook make their own inserts. If Traveler's Notebook, if Traveler companies, the Traveler company, if they only were to be a manufacturer of the leather cover, of course I would then go out and find an insert that fits in that cover. But because they make their own inserts, I've really struggled to use a different branded insert in my Traveler's Notebook. And this must enrage some of you so much, because I do see a lot of you guys using, a different branded insert, whack it into a leather cover, because then you get the benefit of both worlds, right? You get the tactility and the amazingness of the leather, and just, the flexibility of being able to put different inserts in, and you can use inserts that you like. I cannot do it. I have tried it a few times. Every time when I start using an insert from a different brand, I stop because it just wasn't working for me. I've also tried using a blank insert and do basically a bullet journal kind of style, or writing my own layout. Also don't like that very much. I quite like, maybe it's because in this sense I'm not that anal and annoying. Like, I can work with what I get, because I want to save the time of having to draw things myself. So yeah, I'm a bit of a weird one. So anyway, this is kind of another page that I really like. So this is actually a page that folds in half, which I'll show you in a little bit. I have another page like this, but I'm planning a trip in here, which I am not ready to share with the internet yet. And again, this is kind of really quite graphic, and I love it. I love just how it looks, even with me just wanting to hide information. A lot of white space, so I'm totally happy with that. here, this is actually a piece of packaging tape that I've stuck into here. And then this is the page that I wanted to share. Again, something that I do a lot with my traveler's notebooks. So as much as this is a functional space for planning, I also want a little bit of fun in here. And basically I would collect happenings, and so like ephemera, tickets, postcards and things from places that I've visited and stuff like that. So a little while ago, a shop in London called Choosing Keeping had like a little exhibition of all the Lamy Safari pens. So I went there and bought a pen, but also they had like these really pretty postcards. So I took a postcard and I turned it into a page. So I removed the actual page that was basically there we go, was basically 23rd, 24th and 25th, and made like 2 extra pages out of it. So this page here that is connected to the notebook has like the kind of receipt and other ephemera attached to it. And then I would basically attached this page just so I have a calendar page, and then it would turn this way, and then this would be my week at a glance, basically as a horizontal weekly spread, but kind of a bit more fun. And then the next week will then go this way around, and then I would have another horizontal weekly spread. And that's kind of stuff that I used to do a lot, and stuff that I really enjoy, because it's kind of like a little activity book. It just makes the book a bit more exciting, given that all it is planning, really. And I have basically only used my Uniball pen, a Uniball P pen in here. I don't think I'm going to use fountain pen ink in this paper, on this paper anyway. So here is basically some more planning. I'm not going to show you the other March spreads, but I can show you here, for example, that I've already planned that May is going to have a separate page inserted into here, and probably won't get this page removed. So yeah, so this is how I use my traveler's notebook. I think it's quite different to how I use Hobonichi, and how the Hobonichi notebook style kind of is all about. So this is basically why I have 2 notebooks, and which is why I'm struggling to merge the 2 notebooks, because I basically I feel I do the best planning and work when I use my traveler's notebook, but I do enjoy kind of the fluffiness that is the Hobonichi, also the ability to kind of decorate, and actually at the very least, right, I should use up all the tapes and stickers that I've accumulated. But I am definitely a single notebook kind of person, so I am a bit in turmoil. Like, there's a bit of a dilemma of, will I now just keep up 2 journals for forever, or for the foreseeable future, or will I maybe end up swapping into one? Basically, I would miss, if I swapped into one, I would miss the decorating of my pages and my traveler's notebook, because it's definitely not something that I want to do in it. I want to keep my traveler's notebook like graphic, monochrome, and really like minimal, and kind of, bold, almost just about color, shape and emptiness. And then yeah, I feel like I can't do that in here, because of all like kind of the I don't know, the comments and things, like the quotes and stuff. It just wouldn't work. So then I would miss this in here. So basically I don't know what to do. Maybe you can help, make some suggestions, or maybe it's okay to have like 2 notebooks. I don't know. I mean, yeah, so this has been a really long video. Thank you if you're still around, and thank you for watching, and thank you for stopping by. If you like the video, maybe you would consider a subscribe, or maybe a follow on Instagram. That would be really, really lovely. To those of you that have been commenting under my videos, thank you so much. It really is it's so heartwarming. It's so lovely, and I'm really grateful for all the cheering on that you're doing for me. Yeah, I mean, thank you basically. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting. Any comments, please leave them down below and I will get back to you. And hope to see you soon with another video, and have a nice remaining day. Bye bye.